Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Drop In CEO podcast. I'm Deb Coviella, your host, and so grateful you have joined us on another episode where week after week I get to share amazing insights with you, and I do hopefully inspire you. So bear with me a little bit. We are working through the remnants of a cold, trying to get rid of this frog in my throat that hopefully does not disrupt the flow of our conversation, or at least mine with you and you listening to this hopefully soothing conversation. But at the end of the day, I don't just do this to make you feel good. These episodes are here to help the C-suite leader of today and tomorrow to navigate challenges with confidence by adding value, giving you different ways of thinking, sharing insights with you that I have learned throughout the years so you don't have to make the same mistakes or get out of your situation. Again, these are do-it-yourself episodes that I am hoping you can take away such value and be able to implement them yourselves. Again, I try to give you a framework, make it easy in 15 or 20 minutes. We're going to move fast because I do have a client meeting in a few minutes, but I do want to provide you value now. Now, I am going to talk to you a little bit about you, your organization, and in the context of fitness and well-being. You may have heard me talk a little bit about my theme that I had last year, simplicity, which was enabled through investing in my reach, investing in myself, and investing in my well-being. I have learned so much from that. Why can't we translate that into our organization? But before we get into some of those insights, I must say I have a confession. I failed at running an efficient organization, Illumination Partners LLC, which is my company. And because I was working so hard and sure I was doing the right work and the stuff I love to do, but after a while, I will tell you quite frankly, I was not feeling joy and wasn't seeing the results that I wanted. And I soon realized I was focused on results versus outcomes, for which I changed to simplification, which is what I just shared with you, and investing in the things that mattered, the process versus the results. Invest in myself as a leader, investing in who I'm connecting with and how I'm reaching you, and ultimately my physical and mental well being to be able to continue to do this purposeful work. But then I realized I turned the finger on me. In an effort to hustle, I created complexity that was making me, quite frankly, crazy. And so I realized I had to shed a few obligations, put up some boundaries around that normally I would not have done, and delayed some things that were not urgent. And I will tell some people will say, well, what about the delegate? Delegate to some people. I did have a VA, a virtual assistant at one time, but I did discharge them, not because they didn't do a good job, but my streams, my workflows were so complex and not easy to standardize that it was actually costing me a lot of money to train, reteach, and less of an ROI. And I was having to micromanage and fix things. Yeah, I'm the drop-in CEO, and I had problems as well. So it doesn't make me a bad person, not in the least, but I had the awareness to stop doing certain things and only focus on the things that really matter. So think about it. I've made these mistakes myself, but what about yourself? And in the meantime, I also hired a coach to help me with my mindset and behavior that I was hustling to control my future and mitigate uncertainty. Later realizing I again was working too hard and I had lacked the clarity and I knew that I needed to ask for help. And through that process of just working with somebody else, I gained that clarity. And so, why am I putting myself completely out there? Well, I am human. I am not perfect. The drop in CEO is still a work in progress, but after all, I do help senior leaders with their challenges. And if there's nothing else, I want to share what I have learned with about myself and my business and help you better manage your organization by being fit, by being organizationally strong and having the right well-being. The difference is that I had the awareness that this was an issue and the courage to ask for support. And now I'm very comfortable with where I'm at and much less stress. But here is the advice that I want to give you to get rid of those inefficiencies and be the leader that your organization needs and be fit and well organized such that you're not stressed as much, because if you're stressed, everybody else is. It flows down. So, 3 insights. Just stop. Just stop. That's the first thing. Just stop. Take a break. Pause. Talk to someone how you feel versus festering and feeling sorry for yourself. Be confident in yourself. You won't lose traction, but be brave enough to just stop. How did you get to this point? And can you see the waste in what you are creating and the organizational inefficiency? It is possible. It is all you. Now, I know you got a leadership team around you, but look at yourself, your organization over time. And if you're feeling stress and not stopping, think about what's happening below you. Now, number 2, think about value versus activity focus. What percent of your time do you focus on the strategic work that moves the needle versus all the transactions and the activity? Are you a firefighter? It gets pretty expensive putting out fires when you should be spending more time focusing on fire prevention. 70% of your time should be strategic, and the rest of the time should be employee barrier removal mentorship and elevating their capability, their capacity, and their confidence to do the work that needs to be done. It's a shift. But think about it. Are you focused on things that provide value, or are you just focused on the activity? And write it down and parse it out and look at what percent you're actually investing in the things that really matter or not. And the last thing, put your glasses on. Put your glasses on. And mind you, if you don't wear glasses, that's okay. That's good. That's okay. But I'm just saying figuratively, put your glasses on. Do you see your people and the waste they're generating? And if you don't know, I suggest you spend time in the rank and file and see the emails and the meetings and the reports being generated that are activity based and not providing any value. And if you don't know, I'm sorry, the buck stops with you, and you or your captains need to know. Trust, but verify. You need to trust but verify, are people doing the right things through a different lens, not what people have been doing. Those reports, the meetings, everything seems to be humming along. Put a completely different lens on. Is it value added work? Have you taken a moment to look at what is providing value and what is truly waste? Because quite frankly, you may be killing the people. And again, it starts with you. It stops with you if you don't make sure your organization is fit. You're going to burn people out. People are going to leave. I don't have to tell you all of this. It's not rocket science. But again, heed my warning. Take these actions. Just stop. Focus on the value, not the activity. And make sure you put your glasses on with a different lens. Look at things differently. Walk the floor. Ask people questions. Ask people to show you what they're doing. And you might say, and why are you doing that? Because you may not realize how much waste there is in your organization. Now, what I shared with you is to help you see it and identify the waste. How to manage it is really up to you. Each of you are unique and nothing is cookie cutter. When you come to me, and a lot of you have come to me, I listen to what is unique in your situation, and I leverage my background, sometimes in root cause analysis, to be able to see what is really happening under the surface, your leadership, your communication style, and maybe even lean to help you get to where you need to go. I provide the how. I provide the how with my insight or through this amazing network I have standing behind me. And I promise you, when you stop and take time to assess and focus on only the value added work and see the waste in other places and remove them, you definitely create a lean leadership and an organization that has strong well being. And I'll tell you, here's just a little bit of proof. I start work at 6 a.m. and I end by 5, give or take. And I still curl 3 times a week. I go to the gym, I walk the dog, I spend time with my husband and my 3 adult children. Do I work a little bit more on the weekend? Yes, I do. But that's when I'm doing my marketing. I'm doing my video editing, etc. And mind you, I could hire a VA at some point. I am in the process of simplifying my process, and maybe in the future I can offload those things and gain back even more free time. I am much healthier. I am much happier. I am finding joy in just recording today because I have the time and it's not under duress. I'm not perfect, and I'll say it again, I'm not a work in process. I'm still trying to figure it out, but let me work with you. to help create the future, a lean organization that is strong and healthy. And I do hope this provide a lot of value. It is meant for you to be able to take these insights and leverage them yourself. And if you know somebody that's struggling, share this episode with them. Don't keep it to yourself. Leverage this information to be able to help somebody else. That's the most noble thing we can do, is leave our legacy and help others. But if you're not exactly sure where to start, maybe your situation is very unique, I am here to listen. I listen a lot, leverage my insights, share some things with you that maybe you can really go forward with, and you don't need my help. That is my hope for you. You don't need me. But if you do, I can be your number two or your partner. Reach out to me on LinkedIn or go to my website, dropinceo.com. I am here to support you. At least listen, provide some insights, send you on your way. But if not, and if you need somebody to partner with, I could be that person. And with that, I want to thank you for dropping in on another episode of the podcast where hopefully I have provided you amazing value this week. And until we meet, and I do hope we meet sometime, I do want to wish you well and much success. Take care.